Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Iman. I am the owner of IB Divine Yoga. I am a certified yoga instructor and Reiki practitioner. I specialize in the realms of intimacy and sensuality and utilizing tools such as yoga and meditation and other modalities to assist couples and women to connect with their partner or connect with themselves on a deeper level. I wanted to make this video pretty much discussing my personal journey and experience and perspective when it comes to discovering my own beauty, what that has been like and what that means to me, and the steps that I took pretty much to become more confident in myself and to see my own beauty and allow that to shine from within. So let's get into it. One of the first things, shout out to the Big Chop movement. And shout out to everybody that has gone through that process. I remember back in college, 2012, it was really a whole movement. And some people may have started even before that, but I remember I was with someone at the time and they were convincing me, and I was also considering it and seeing other women go through that process of just embracing their natural hair. I was like, oh yeah, let me get into it, because I was also going through this process mentally of breaking out of certain ideologies and just going beyond what I thought I knew. So around that time, I was pretty much in like my Black Panther era. I'm laughing because I'm thinking back to how like serious I used to be, and I'm glad I went through that. It was a part of my journey, but I was learning so much about like systematic racism and just waking up to the reality and truth of what Black people have gone through in this country. To accompany what I was going through mentally and what I was discovering and researching and just, the journey that I was taking, cutting my hair just seemed like another step along that process. And I literally just remembered the lady that I went to, she specialized in like perms and stuff like that. And she did not specialize in natural hair, but I had her cut my hair because I didn't know anybody else, and she was my go-to hairdresser. And I remember I looked in the mirror after she cut it. It looked a fucking mess. Literally in tears. Okay, so oh my gosh, y'all, I am cracking up thinking about this time period. It was just so much. But the lady who did my big chop did not specialize in natural hair. And when I saw my big chop, I would like my hair, she did not cut it, like she didn't cut all the perm out. It looked a mess. It looked so bad. And I remember my boyfriend at the time, my ex, he came in. Like I texted him, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think she did this right. And I remember like looking sad and like on the verge of tears. And he walked in and he was like, oh. He was trying so hard to be supportive. Okay, y'all, excuse me. That tickled me deep. I forgot about that, but bringing this memory back up, oh man, that was a day. And so I had to find someone. Oh, Miss Nashama, shout out to her. I wonder how she's doing. What was the restaurant called? If you were in Tally, Soul Veg. So shout out to her. She became my hairdresser and she helped me out a lot. Miss Nashama, man, I forgot the name of her shop. I wish I could remember right now. But I found her and I discovered her and she helped me and she became my hairdresser. Oh my goodness. And that was the beginning of me learning how to love myself or embrace my natural beauty. So when I tell you I deeply appreciate the big chop movement, like that was such a major step, because we know that the beauty industry in general is so large and huge, and there are so many, programs and ideas about what women should look like, how you should dress, how you should do your hair, and there's so much that we are being bombarded with daily. And we know that historically and culturally, Black women have never been considered the beauty standard. There has always been an upholding of the European beauty standard, and that being the thing to look like, whether in size and skin color and so on and so forth. So for so many Black women to go through that process of choosing to embrace their own natural beauty and decide that we don't have to necessarily rely on weave or straight hair to look beautiful. There is beauty in our coils, there is beauty in our natural state. And of course, this is something that has happened before. We know that the 70s was a major era for like natural Black hair and froze and all of that. And for me, that time period, which was very prevalent, was when I was in college in 2012. And to be in that and to experience that and to take that step and to take that journey, it was really powerful, and it was very necessary for me. That's what I really valued and appreciated about that. A woman's hair is such an important part of her identity. And for me, my hair has been a major part of my self-love journey, and that was the beginning of my journey. And another portion of that was me deciding to get locks. And one of the insecurities that my locks helped me break out of was me feeling like I had a big ass head. And that is so real. Although I have been told by so many of my hairstylists throughout the years that I have a small head, to me, I felt like I had a big head, and short hair just did not look good on me. And even though I did do my big chop and I was wearing my natural hair, I think there was still a crutch that I used for like protective styles and those type of styles. But getting into locks and deciding to take that journey, what year was that? 2017 is when I started my lock process, or 2016. I was using like yarn twists to cover up like my baby locks and the beginning of the lock journey. But at one point I was like, you know what? No, I want to see the whole process, like the ugly stage. People call it the ugly stage, which is another programming. But that helped me so much to build more confidence in my face, and just seeing my hair go through its process, watching my locks, lock up. That was such an important journey for me too. And then after my lock process, baby, I shaved my head bald. That was probably one of the biggest hair decisions that truly built my confidence, because baby, if you can rock a bald head, you really that, okay? Because there is nothing like you're leaning on necessarily, or there's nothing kind of enhancing your features or your beauty or whatever the case may be. So you're solely relying on your face, and oh my goodness, it was so freeing. It was one of the most freeing things I have ever done. Like, and I shaved it down to the scalp, baby. Like I was I could feel the wind and breeze on my head. And this was around 2018 that I had shaved my locks off. I was wanting something different, and I had always knew that I was going to shave my head. Even before I had got locks, this was something that I had knew I was going to do at some point. And I had my locks for a few years, and then I was like, you know what? I'm ready to shave this shit off. And that's exactly what I did. And when I tell you, it was so freeing, and I had more time. I didn't have to worry about doing my hair. I didn't have, time got freed up, okay? I could just wake up and go, get ready, get dressed for work, head straight there. So my get ready process was shortened, and man, just I love that was one of my favorite stages, the bald head phase and having the low boy and the low cuts. Baby, there was a level of fierceness that I feel like I tapped into when I did that. So if you have ever considered shaving your head, it's not always a mental crisis or whatever the case may be. You know, sometimes you just want to start fresh and you just want something different. Now, that's hella fresh. And I know that everyone is not necessarily comfortable with that, and that's perfectly okay. But if you feel called to it, I definitely say try it out. It's such an invigorating and just freeing process. You know, going through those different hair changes, big chop, locks, bald, low boy, like doing those things and making those decisions really helped me learn to just really love myself, you know, and my natural beauty, and to embrace who I am and define and discover what beauty means to me. And now I do what the fuck I want to do. I haven't cut my hair in a couple of years, but you know, sometimes I think about going back to the low boy stage. Sometimes I think about going back to my locks. I wear weave, I wear wigs, I wear protective styles. I do it all, and I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. You know, one thing that I don't like necessarily about like conscious people is how they try to make women feel bad for wearing weave or for wearing makeup and all of that stuff. It's like, shut the fuck up. Please shut the fuck up. Like, a woman deciding to wear weave or to wear makeup doesn't mean that she loves herself any less. Like, I can say that confidently as a woman who has been through many stages and who has gone through many evolutions. Like, that is not a determining factor of how someone feels about themselves. Some of us can flow through those different identities or accessories and still know how to love who we are naturally. So please stop perpetuating that narrative. It's so annoying, but let me get past that. The next thing that I decided to do on my journey was getting into practices that allow me to connect with myself, my body. So we know that the body is another aspect to where women are pretty much told, you know, you need to look this way to look good and so on and so forth. So for me, in high school, that's when I was aware of my body insecurities. And when I tell you, I was fit in high school. I was muscular because I was a cheerleader. And although I had a fit body, I was not secure within myself. And I went to a was it predominantly white? Well, yeah, mostly white high school. And it was the cheerleaders mostly white. I was one of the only black cheerleaders, and there was another girl, but she was like light skinned. So being the only dark girl on the team, whenever I was in high school, was very, very like noticeable. It was a thing. I remember feeling like I stood out, being darker toned than everybody else, being more muscular than everybody else. I felt like I felt like I stood out like a sore thumb, and I wasn't comfortable. I was so uncomfortable, and some people that I went to high school with may be like, girl, what? You know, you were fine, you were the bomb. And, you know, I was, I guess, what people would consider to be popular, but I never really felt that way. I felt so out of place because we know that growing up, whether it has been in the music, whether it has been in the social circles, light skin was always deemed to be more attractive, and darker toned women were, you know, talked down on or talked badly about. That was a real thing. A lot of the times we internalize those ideas and those programs, whether we consciously realize it or not. And even recently, I'm binge watching, side note, I'm binge watching Tia and Tamara, you know, sister. And the main characters of that show are lighter skinned. And one of the episodes I just recently watched, they were, you know, trying to become cheerleaders, and they were part of the C Squad. And two of the girls on the C Squad were darker toned. And so they were considered to be nerdy and unattractive. And one of the girls was bigger boned as well. So it's like in our shows, in our social programming for so long, darker toned women, black women, have been made to be seen as undesirable, and you cannot deny that. That shit has been shown and pushed on us for so long. Being in high school and looking the way that I looked, although I was in shape, I still felt like I looked manly or muscular or more masculine than everybody else around me, because other girls just seemed more feminine. And when I tell you, I didn't consciously realize this until years later when I got a reading from this woman. She was like, you are trying to appear more feminine. And I was like, oh snap. I never realized how that tied to how I felt about myself in high school and how I felt so manly and muscular. And oh my God, people used to always make comments about my body. People would just always talk about how muscular I was. And that used to make me so uncomfortable because it made me feel manly. So that was what I was going through in high school, and as far as my body image and not feeling like, I was pretty enough. Oh my gosh. And I didn't like my feet. I felt like my feet were too fat. I felt like my hands were too big. Like, I remember how uncomfortable I used to feel in my body during my high school experience. Like, I remember it like it was yesterday. So after high school, I went to college, and that's when the big chop process. And then I got into yoga. Yoga has saved my life mentally on every level. Yoga helped me overcome anxiety. I had anxiety pretty bad. In addition to that, getting into a practice that allowed me to connect with myself beyond the surface and allow me to connect with my body. Oh my goodness. So healing, so much healing took place through the practice of yoga for me. And that's what the word yoga means. Yoga means union, to come together. That practice really helped me with that big time, and getting more into my body and learning how to love my body through the poses and through my personal practice was so necessary for me. Yoga played a huge part in me embracing my body and accepting it. After high school, I was smaller. I wasn't as muscular or as thick as I was in high school. So I definitely got smaller. But then in 2019, I decided to commit to the gym, which is another process that has been so beneficial for me when it comes to loving my body and embracing it, because now I'm pretty much back to being muscular like I was in high school, and I'm thicker, but I'm definitely thicker than I was in high school, but now I am muscular and I fucking love it. Like, high school me would be cringing, but now I love it. Recently, I was out with my friend, and this guy, he was commenting on my muscles. He kept doing that. He was like, oh, your muscles so big. They bigger than most dudes here. Sometimes I can tell when it's coming from a genuine complimentary place, and other times I can tell when it's coming from someone trying to be, jokingly funny, or come off a certain way. Like, I can sense and pick up on those things. But he was just going off and just kind of making jokes as well. And I was like, it's not that serious. Like, I just did not engage with him. It just showed me how far I have come, because I absolutely love my body. I have fallen in love with my body and modalities such as yoga and meditation, and just going within myself and taking the journey of getting to know myself beyond the surface has helped me immensely when it comes to loving on my body, no matter what stage it's in, no matter what it looks like. And working out for me is less of a physical thing. Like, yeah, I like to look good. You damn right, because when you look good, you feel good, and that's the real thing. I do. I know that I am vain. There's a level of vanity in me that I will not apologize for, or I will not hide from. However, working out for me is way more about my mental and emotional health, because I go through like depressive episodes where I just feel so low, and I know that's something so many people go through. Getting into the gym and working out and moving my body helped me so much when it came to that. It changed the trajectory of my mental and emotional health. You know, in addition to yoga, in addition to therapy and those other avenues and resources, going to the gym has been absolutely necessary for my health and well-being. Like, yeah, like I said, I like to look good, and it adds to me feeling good about myself, but the mental and emotional benefits have been out of this world. Just building my body back up and shaping it in the way that, you know, makes me feel just beautiful and sexy. And getting into dancing as well is another avenue that I utilize to just love on my body and to appreciate my body and how it looks and the changes that it goes through. Because, you know, a woman's body, we go through so many changes. There is so much that we go through. So utilizing these different modalities to just love on myself throughout these years, all of them have been an important part of my journey of me embracing my beauty and discovering what that means to me. And one of the things that I realized too some years back, now this is something I said, now I ain't never heard nobody else say this shit. Nah, if you hear this, it came from me. No, but one of the things that I realized is that beauty does not fade, it evolves. Because beauty is not just this, it's what's within here too. And I know that may come off a little cliche, but it's so real. Get to know yourself beyond what other people tell you. Hell, beyond what I'm telling you, just get to know yourself beyond the surface. And when I tell you, it's just so yummy. Like, I feel so damn yummy in my body. Can't nobody tell me shit about shit. Just proudly in love with the woman that I have come to be, and I'm 32 years old. So this self-love journey, it has been years in the making, in the developing, in the evolution. This has been, you know, such a rewarding journey. It's been rough at times, of course, but it's been so rewarding. And going through those different processes has helped me to just love who I am, like I said. And I'm affirming that this video inspired whoever is watching it. And yes, you are beautiful, you are enough. And take that journey of discovering what beauty means to you, what that looks like to you, and how that is for you in your own life. I hope this helped in some way, shape, or form. Again, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will have more videos coming out, some workout videos, other fun videos about these type of topics: self-love, intimacy, sensuality, so on and so forth. So definitely stay tuned. Bye. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.